So you probably heard rates are going up and the world is coming to an end. There's going to be another great collapse, and the dream of home ownership keeps moving further and further away for more and more Americans, and yada, 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 right? On and on and on. So do not want to diminish what you're hearing in mainstream media, but I do want to provide you with some of the facts, and that's what you're going to get here this week. Hey, I'm Hutch Marone, your real estate agent here in Atlanta. We're working on a 3-part series on kind of the history of the housing market, right? Mortgage rates, home affordability, home ownership percentage in this country. And tonight, last topic, we're going to talk about past recessions and how they impacted housing, okay? Not in a lot of detail, but I'm going to go high level on you here, okay? 1980s, there was a 6-month recession. GDP backed up about 2.2%, so 2.2% decline in GDP, about 8% inflation. Bottom line is housing went side to side in the early 80s for that recession. For the 1990 recession here, and this is Atlanta specific, okay? So in other parts of the country, they saw a bigger impact on housing, but Atlanta's a growth market. So same thing. 1990 recession, 1.5% pullback in GDP, 6.8% unemployment. So that's pretty significant. Not as bad as it was in the early 80s. But again, housing prices went side to side. That was a protracted recession. You had the stock market crash in 87. It caught up with housing around 1989, 1990, but that lasted for a while. So the stock market started taking off in the mid-90s, but home prices were still moving laterally. Then, towards the end of the 90s, we saw a significant pickup in housing, okay? 2001, dot-com bust, right? What happens is you have about an 8-month period, GDP backs up 0.3%, so barely backs up. Unemployment's about 5.5%. And in Atlanta, home prices actually went up plus 3%. Plus 3%. What happened in 2008 here in Atlanta? Okay, whole country, Great Recession, lowering rates. We've talked about that. But what happened to the housing market? 24% pullback in housing. 9.5% nationwide unemployment. GDP backs up 4.3%. So a 4.3% decline in GDP. California, house prices were down 40%. Other parts of the country, easily 35%. Atlanta, growth market, 24% decline in housing. 4.3% decline in GDP is the largest reduction in GDP this country's seen since the Great Depression. So 1937-38. So if you are waiting for the next Great Recession because you're looking for a 20% decline in home prices, you are defying the odds, right? Your opportunity that you're waiting for is literally defying all the odds. Early 80s recession, side to side, okay? 90s recession, side to side, protracted period of time, but side to side, right? 2001, the dot-com bust, we had a recession. Home prices actually went up here in Atlanta. Great Recession, 24% pullback, but again, that is the outlier. That is not the norm. So we've seen stock market declines, right? We've seen some unemployment. I don't know. Are you waiting for another 20% decline before you buy? My concern for you is if you're buying a home is that you're waiting for something that is not going to happen. And you're going to be further behind the 8 ball because interest rates are going to continue to rise or prices will continue to rise, and that will just continue to erode your buying power because you're waiting for an event that is not the norm. We all have to make our own choice, do what's right for our family. If you have any more questions for me, again, Hutch Marone, your real estate agent here in Atlanta, happy to help out and talk to you about it.